Welcome to the Good Business Dufferin podcast, hosted by the Dufferin Board of Trade through our social enterprise, the Dufferin Biz Hub. Our podcast is based on our belief that small businesses have the power to drive positive change in our community. Our conversations with local experts will help your business thrive, and our talks with community leaders will inspire you to make a difference in Dufferin County. Whether you're looking to grow your business, strengthen our community, or hopefully both, we've got you covered.
Hello, and welcome to the Good Business Dufferin podcast. I'm Jaemilyn Gavino, Communications Manager here at the Dufferin Board of Trade, and today we're doing things a little differently. I'll be your guest host, and joining me is someone you all know, Diana Morris, our Executive Director here at DBOT. Diana is celebrating 10 years with our organization and has worked with countless local businesses, helping them navigate challenges, find opportunities, and succeed. Today, she'll be sharing some practical tools and advice for small businesses looking to grow and thrive in our community. Plus, we'll explore what a Board of Trade does and how DBOT supports local business success. It's going to be an insightful conversation. Let's get started. So, let's get started with the basics. What is a Board of Trade?
Board of Trade is a chamber of commerce. Those two terms are interchangeable, Board of Trade, Chamber of Commerce. The Board of Trade is a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization, and we exist to help local businesses in our community thrive. We're not a government organization. We're not funded by the government. All of our fundraising activities and membership dues and events, and if we can find them, grants, that's what supports our organization.
Awesome. So how did the Dufferin Board of Trade come into existence, and what roles does it play in the community?
Yeah, the Board of Trade was actually founded as the Orangeville Board of Trade in 1909. And then over the decades, it has changed names, changed boundaries, changed quite a few things. Most recently, it was the Greater Dufferin Area Chamber of Commerce. And then in 2015, it was changed to the Dufferin Board of Trade. Right now, the role in the community it plays is as the Board of Trade. So we're a local connector and advocate for small business. And we are also an organization where businesses can come to help them scale up and thrive and grow and get connected in the community.
Oh, that's great. So what are some of the ways DBOT helps local businesses grow and succeed?
We usually talk about sort of four pillars that we have in that. So our pillars would be connect, advocate, save money, and promote local businesses. So as a connector of local businesses, we help businesses connect with one another, which is super important. We also help small businesses connect with the resources they need. So when grant opportunities or things like that come out, we help businesses connect with those. We also advocate for small business needs. We save businesses money, things like affinity programs, chamber insurance plan, and then we promote our businesses, all businesses in the community through our online business directory and through things like our Think Local, Shop Local campaigns.
Awesome. So you mentioned advocacy. What does that mean in the context of DBOT, and how do we advocate for businesses?
Yeah, we act as the voice of business in Dufferin County. Each business has obviously their own voice, but when we put together the voice of hundreds of local businesses in Dufferin, that's a stronger voice. And so we, first of all, have to find out what our businesses' needs are, like what are the issues our businesses are having. And then we can take those issues to all three levels of government. To our local government, we meet regularly with local government officials, but also to the provincial and federal governments. We are part of both the Ontario Chamber of Commerce and the Canadian Chamber of Commerce, and they're incredibly powerful advocacy voices for the business community. So we support them on initiatives that they have, as well as the more local things that are keeping our businesses up at night.
Awesome. So every year we have the annual business survey, and what are some of the things that come up in the survey that local businesses share in that?
Yeah, our survey launches the end of January every year and runs through the month of February. And that is the best tool that we have to gather the information from the businesses to find out what's keeping them up at night and what their concerns are. The past, I think this is our 7th year that we'll be doing the survey. The previous first maybe 5 years, the number one issue that always came up was businesses were struggling to attract and retain employees. And that always came up as the top issue. Last year's survey, it was interesting. It was the second top issue. The biggest concern businesses had was rising costs and inflation. So obviously that's certainly a concern still this year, as there's a lot of changes on the horizon for 2025, both Canada-wide and globally, with things happening in the U.S. So we know businesses are going to be concerned about that, about rising costs and inflation. We also hear things like high-speed internet, or availability of or lack of availability of rental and commercial space in Dufferin County. Things like that are also issues that are impacting our businesses.
Is the Dufferin Board of Trade able to help address any of these problems?
Yeah, we obviously connect with the Ontario and Canadian Chambers of Commerce with the bigger issues and see how we can amplify their messages and make sure the business voices are heard. But some of the more local issues, the high-speed internet, we're continuing to advocate for SWIFT and continuing to advocate at the local level for that. But issues around availability of space, that is part of how the Biz Hub came about, was a need for affordable commercial spaces, as well as reduced cost, affordable services for businesses. We do some workforce issues as well. We do our large event every October, our Dream Dufferin event, and that event is focused on skilled trades, but it's really any in-demand career in Dufferin County. So we bring, last year we brought 1,200 students from grade 8 to 12 out to the Ag Center in October, and we had about 50 employers there. So these employers provided interactive, hands-on booths and things that would really get kids excited and encouraged to be involved in skilled trades or healthcare or PSWs, things that are super in demand here, and also volunteer opportunities, because we want to spark that interest as well. And that's an event that we really take pride in, that helps with workforce development.
Awesome. So why do businesses and nonprofits join the Dufferin Board of Trade?
Everybody has a different reason. So a lot of it depends on the size of the business and what the business is doing. If they're a B2B, a business to business sales, or if they're business to consumer, and if they're a larger business. A lot of our larger businesses join really for the corporate social responsibility piece. They want to be seen as being part of Dufferin County, not just a business located here. So that piece about getting connected, helping other businesses, helping the full business community thrive, really appeals to a lot of businesses. Some other businesses, they may join because they want the networking opportunities. They want to meet other business owners, or they want us to refer consumers to them. Our online business directory is the biggest, most comprehensive directory in the area. So a lot of consumers look at that. Businesses want to be on there with an active, enhanced listing instead of our free listings. Some of our businesses join because they want access to the Chamber's Plan Insurance Program, which is a really good thing. Some businesses also join just because it adds credibility to your organization to say we're a member of the local Chamber of Commerce or Board of Trade. There was a Shapiro Group study done a few years ago that said that 80% of consumers are more likely to shop at a business if they know it's a member of a Chamber of Commerce. So especially now, a lot of consumers are maybe worried about scams or fraud or the legitimacy of a business, especially if you're putting down a deposit. So being part of a local Chamber of Commerce or Board of Trade certainly adds a level of legitimacy to your business. It's less likely to be a fly-by-night or a not reputable business if they're part of the community, they're active, they're involved, and they're part of the chamber.
Awesome. So do you mind just circling back? You mentioned the Chamber's Plan. Do you mind just sharing a bit more about that?
Yeah, the Chamber's Plan is an insurance benefits program that's offered across Canada, and it's exclusively for businesses or nonprofits that are members of their local Chamber of Commerce or Board of Trade. The nice thing with the Chamber's Plan is it's a nonprofit plan, and it's a fully pooled plan. So with a traditional plan, if an employee or employer doesn't have insurance, they bring in an insurance plan. Everybody's excited. Oh, I have benefits. Yay. So I'm going to use them. And then the next year, because it's based on usage, you get a really high increase. And so that happened at an organization I worked at previously, where the premiums increased because everyone used it the first year it was implemented. The premiums increased so much that they couldn't afford to keep the insurance plan going. The nice thing with the Chamber's Plan, it's not based on your individual usage. It's a Canada-wide, fully pooled plan. So the premiums only increase marginally, generally sort of with the rate of inflation. So it's a really stable for a small business to have. And it's a thing we're noticing more and more now. We have 80 different businesses on the plan. So there's 80 small businesses in our community that are providing these benefits and saving money by doing that. But it's also a way to help attract and retain employees. We noticed that, even things like restaurant industries that wouldn't traditionally have offered benefits have started recently offering benefits so that they can help attract and retain the employees that they need.
Awesome. So, here at the Dufferin Board of Trade, we have the Dufferin Biz Hub. Do you mind just explaining what a social enterprise is and why we operate one here at the Dufferin Board of Trade?
Yeah. A social enterprise, sort of a basic definition, a social enterprise is an organization or business that exists for the greater good. The reason it exists isn't really about profits for the owner of the organization. It's about making the community better. So that's what a social enterprise does. For us as a nonprofit operating a social enterprise, the social enterprise also acts as a fundraising arm. So there's a number of social enterprises in Dufferin County that are connected to nonprofit or charitable organizations, such as our Biz Hub is connected to the Board of Trade. And that's a way that we generate revenue and then to help do the community betterment activities that the Dufferin Board of Trade does.
Awesome. So, what services does the Biz Hub offer?
Yeah. The Biz Hub originally opened in February of 2020, which was a terrible time to open a co-working space. But at that time, our focus was on space rentals, based on the results we heard that the businesses were desperately looking for space rentals. So we have office spaces and meeting room spaces available for rent. Most of our permanent offices are taken. We do have a bit of a wait list for people looking for long-term rentals, but we do have daily rentals and meeting room rentals. Also studio rentals. We can do videography and photography rentals here. We also have virtual offices. We have quite a few businesses and nonprofits that use our mailing address as theirs, which is really nice for safety for entrepreneurs who don't want to give out their home address. Also, for talking about legitimizing your business again, it comes up on Google Maps that your business is operating out of a Biz Hub, which is really nice. And then we also bring in your parcels or have a secure parcel drop off, so it's safer to use our mailing address as yours. But more recently, we've added a whole line of services that we offer. And these services are designed to be sort of entry-level services. We're not looking to compete with any of our members or any businesses in the fields. So what we do is we offer sort of entry-level services, and then once your business has scaled up, we'll introduce you to a partner in our referral network who can take the next level services. But we do things like videography. You do things like videography, photography, graphics design. And then we also do things like human resource support. So we can do job postings and hiring support, support writing or rewriting HR policies. We do administrative support, and we do have a fairly new addition of a sort of a line of training. So we offer diversity, equity, and inclusion training, as well as customized training. On the photography, videography side, you also do some social media graphics posts, really amazing headshots, and lots of other things that would help a small business sort of scale up to the point where we can help them get introduced to social media, introduced to posting and graphics, and then they can take it from there, or we can refer them to someone else who could help them scale up.
Yeah. So what role does collaboration play in building a thriving local business community? How does the Dufferin Board of Trade collaborate with other groups? You had mentioned earlier the referral program, but was there any other ways?
Yeah, absolutely. In Dufferin County, it's a bit unique that we have 8 lower tier municipalities. So we have 8 mayors, we have 9 CAOs, we have 9 clerks, we have a lot of municipal partners that we get to work with. And it's really a privilege that we have great working relationships with all of the 8 municipalities and the county staff. We're actively involved in the Mulmore Economic Development Committee and the Orangeville Economic Development Committee, also active with the county ECDEV staff teams and supporting tourism activities and economic development. And then we also partner with a number of nonprofit organizations. We have an event in February we host every year with the Rotary Club and the Home Builders Association. We work with Headwaters Communities in Action and the Dufferin Community Foundation, and a number of nonprofits and charities and community groups that are dedicated to similar missions as ours, as building up our community and helping people succeed.
Awesome. So looking ahead, what are the plans and priorities for the Dufferin Board of Trade in 2025?
We've recently redone our strategic plan. So we're looking at things like helping to increase more value to our members, value for membership, ways to get the community more engaged. We have a brand new networking committee group that's happening. So we're going to be having regular networking events probably every quarter. We're going to be enhancing a lot of the events that we already have. We have our key marquee events. And then we're also looking at expanding our services here at the Biz Hub. One of the really great initiatives that we have, as I mentioned, was the diversity, equity, and inclusion training. And that is part of our larger project that we have called Level Up Dufferin. And that is something that we're looking to grow this year. Level Up Dufferin started as a tourism project where we had businesses identifying their values, such as being environmentally or socially responsible, being pet friendly, being LGBTQ safe spaces. They would identify these values, and where appropriate, we would help provide training to them so that they weren't just saying that they were safe spaces. We were actually helping them become safe spaces. And then they get put on a directory listing and have decals, and they can promote that they are Dufferin's LGBTQ safe spaces. We have about 35 businesses right now that are on a trail of safe spaces in Dufferin County. So we're looking to expand that, offer more training sessions to get more businesses on the listings of the Level Up Dufferin and get more businesses having the training. In the summer, we did a number of free training sessions. And from that, we had quite a few people come out and say, hey, I love this training so much. Please come back and give it to my whole organization. So we developed another sort of type of training where we can go into an organization or a business and meet with the whole team and give them more personalized training on LGBTQ safe spaces, on DEI and accessibility.
Awesome. So, for someone new who's running a small business in Dufferin, what advice would you give them?
Yeah, I would say one of the first things to do is to get connected in the business community. So whether that's coming out to networking events that we're hosting, or coming in and meeting with one of us here on the team, and so we can find out about your business, so we can refer you to consumers who are looking for those kind of things. I'd recommend, if you're a new business and you don't have a business plan, that you reach out to Mark at the Small Business Enterprise Center in Orangeville and get established with a business plan. And they also have different opportunities that it's worth checking out as a new business and an existing business. It's worth meeting with them. I'd also recommend that, especially if you sell to consumers or to local small businesses, that you get on our business directory. We have both a free listing, which is a basic listing, and as I mentioned, members have an enhanced listing. But it is really important to get on that directory online to get your business out there and get yourself known.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Diana, for sharing your insights and expertise with us today. It's clear that the Dufferin Board of Trade is not just about supporting local businesses. It's about building a stronger and more connected community where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. To our listeners, whether you're a business owner, a nonprofit leader, or someone considering to start a business here in Dufferin, we hope this episode has inspired you to connect with us at the Dufferin Board of Trade and take advantage of the many resources and opportunities we offer. Thank you for tuning in to the Good Business Dufferin podcast. Stay tuned for more stories, strategies, and insights to help businesses and grow our community. Until next time, keep driving positive change, because good business is good for everyone.